welcome back. Today we explore the cosmopolitan approach to planetary justice, which builds on what we have previously discussed about liberal egalitarianism but takes it a step further. The cosmopolitan approach, represented by thinkers like Charles Bates, Simon Kenny, Daryl Mohlendorf, and Thomas Polk, offers a broader perspective. Rather than focusing only on individual countries, cosmopolitanism views justice through the lens of global society. This means that the participants in the race to happiness we discussed earlier are not just nation states, but also people from across the globe. In this view, the world itself is the state, and justice requires us to address the global distribution of benefits and burdens. This makes sense when we consider the global institutions like trade and financial systems operate beyond borders, creating global interdependencies that impact people elsewhere. Therefore, to tackle the inequalities they produce, we need global principles of equity. Natural resources aren't distributed equally across the globe, and their benefits aren't shared fairly either. Cosmopolitans like Bates argue that these resources should be considered a global common good, accessible to everyone in a fair way. After all, poverty and wealth can look very different depending on where you are. For instance, being poor in Sweden, where social safety nets are strong, is not the same as being poor in parts of Africa, where such protections are scarce or non-existent. From behind a veil of ignorance, we might agree to be poor in Sweden or Finland, where there is a guaranteed minimum income, but certainly not in a less developed country. Cosmopolitans believe that to address global inequality, Rawls' second principle of justice, the difference principle, should apply globally, ensuring that the most disadvantaged benefit the most. Additionally, from behind this veil of ignorance, which likely redefine the first principle of justice, emphasizing universal basic rights, freedoms, and protection against real or potential risk on a global scale. This would lead to a foundation of global justice. This includes fair conditions for cooperation within international institutions. On this basis, philosopher Polk defines four key indicators of global justice. Everyone can meet their basic needs. Fundamental freedoms are protected. Fair conditions for cooperation exist in global institutions. Global systems support these goals. To make this vision a reality, cosmopolitans propose policies like the global resource dividend, a tax on the use of natural resources that assumes states don't have full ownership of resources within their borders. Instead, they shape part of their value with the global community. According to Polk, a 1% tax on the global product would sufficiently eradicate severe forms of poverty, and so would certainly bring us closer to realizing Rawls' second principle. Similarly, a global carbon tax or tax on financial transactions could help redistribute wealth and address environmental challenges. This approach acknowledges the risk of misuse but suggests safeguards such as restricting tax havens, creating an independent international tax authority, and ensuring transparency in global finance. In summary, the cosmopolitan approach seeks a fairer distribution of benefits and burdens, unrestricted by national borders. It emphasizes the need for international cooperation and redistribution to achieve global justice, and highlights specific policy proposals that could help bring about planetary justice.